I am sure sports. You know me there, from coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never see no game, me not know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crap of players. We are good enough. Remember, like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Nicque Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices. Add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Nicque Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
All right. Welcome to the JPL review and preview show with Manning's Man. Of course, I'll have a star-stud panel joining me. It is going to be a massive day on I Am Sure Sports. I guarantee you that you're going to be extremely delighted about what is happening on I Am Sure Sports today, right? I won't even waste any time, because we have something big and special coming up on the channel today. We have a massive one. So I want all of you to come onto the channel. And then when you come onto the channel, you're going to hit the like button. We're going to do the show. And later will be greater. I am sure sports promise that. A massive one. Can't tell you, we can't let it out yet. But we have Mr. Rudolph Speed of Cavaliers, who he has joined early because the last time he was here, his team lost. He's here early. The last time Brian was here, his team won. And he's here early. So we're going to get into those things. We're going to look at the fixtures. We're going to also talk about the knockout competition. And we're going to talk about Nicque Daley. We're going to talk about Stars and then the El Classico. Don't know why they call it the El Classico really, because they are not the two top teams right now. So is it really the El Clasico, right? And they are not like neighbors per se. So I want to know, but it will be a good game. Rumble
well,
in the jungle.
If you didn't know, two brothers, both of them are, associated with one of those teams each.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Brothers? Really?
Yeah.
Arnett Garden and Waterhouse?
Yeah. The Tankwell crew.
Oh, I didn't know that. You knew that, Brian?
No, but remember I'm young enough, so maybe.
Okay, I didn't know that.
But also, they are the two teams that carry the biggest fan base in Kingston.
Right now?
Yeah. No, perennial, from ever since.
I think right now, though, the team with the biggest fan base right now, I think it is Mount Pleasant. Right now.
I did qualify to say Kingston, though. In Kingston.
All right, not a problem. The first thing we're going to do, I received some information that Nicque Daley, and I don't know if any of you really aware of this, so let me just give the people the details. So now, you know that Nicque Daley contract, whatever the contract situation was, he ended up coming back to Jamaica. He was there at Mount Pleasant for a very lengthy time before the season started. The season started and all due diligence was done in terms of his registration, but he was, there was a senior team training that he was a part of, but because of his the senior team training wasn't helping in him getting into good physical conditioning or shedding some pounds. In fact, it appeared that he at different juncture would be gaining weight, and so he was put through some specific a specific program with two persons outside of the coaching staff around the senior team that he would have to go through. And if he passed that, then he would be integrated back. Well, he has not been able to complete that process. And so for the last couple of games, you're not seeing him. And I will say to the players, your fitness and your conditioning is in your hands, my brothers out there. So please get up in the morning, do some jogging, find some staircase, run up them, find a hill, sprint up and down that hill, do some sit-ups. But your conditioning is up to you. The league, the league is not big like anything in Europe. But one thing I can tell you, the requirements to perform at an elite level in our league today has changed. You can't get away with being unfit in the league anymore. We have to remember that. This is not
You can't get away with also partying the night before anymore. You can't get away with not concentrating on what you're supposed to be doing anymore. And it's not just because players are getting better and the people getting fitter and getting stronger, but the coaches are also looking out for the small things because they are also getting better. You might not notice it, but if you went back and look at some of the games that people are talking about, say the last 10 years or 15 years, the golden years, you'll realize that the league was much slower those times. People were working and playing. So nowadays is a whole different ball game. So you're 100% correct. But I'm just saying there's a lot of additional things you can't get away with again anymore.
There you go. So I want to encourage some of the footballers out there. You have to do that, especially in the light that there's local squads being called up. And your club alone is not responsible for your conditioning. So we may not see him in the league. Let's hope that he can find some way of working on his physical conditioning. So sometimes I'm beginning to wonder, like somebody shared with me a story. I don't know if you can corroborate the story, Mr. Speed, but someone was sharing with me that Cavaliers have a player called Chevron Marsh, right? And the person was saying, listen, I am aware of certain things where Cavaliers is concerned. And their thing is that of all the players from Cavaliers that go away, right, when they come back to Jamaica at any point, the only one that normally continues to train, continues to practice, the consummate professional is Chevron Marsh. They say a lot of them when they go away and they come back, they don't even come to training or train on their own. I will say that when Kaim Paris came back over the festive season, I saw him personally working, and he went back and you saw the results of that in preseason. All right, is that true about? Can you corroborate that story that Marsh is one of those consummate professionals that when he's back in Jamaica, he doesn't just sit around and party, and even if he does that, he is in training, keeping himself in tip-top shape.
No, he doesn't go to party. I can add that he doesn't party, and if he's off the plane anytime, if he's coming off the plane like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and he know that we're training at 3 o'clock, him don't even bother go home. Him just stop and start training. That's March every single time, and he doesn't like take part in some of the training and hide out the rest. Him go as hard as everybody is going, do all the drills, everything. Yeah, that's the type of person he is. It's true.
Okay. But Brian, what do you say about this? About the players' responsibility in staying in tip-top condition and shape?
Well, it's. I mean, Football is them job, and them get paid to do them job, so it's their responsibility to ensure that they can do them job well. Um, Personally, I don't think any person who gets paid to play a sport should be unfit to play that sport. If that is your only job and your only source of income, you don't have any other work, you get paid to play football, run tracks, play cricket, basketball, anything, then it's a basic requirement that you should be in condition to play the sport, or else are you going to earn a living? So I don't even think so there needs to be any form of like motivation. It's just a common sense thing. If you're not fit to play football, how are you going to earn when football is your only source of income? So I don't even think them need no form of motivation or anything like that.
Right. And both of all of us here, when we were in corporate world, or we're still in corporate world, we work 8 hours a day. So why footballers think that they must just work 2 hours or no go? The rest of the time you should probably trying to go to the gym, you should probably watching the games, you should be looking at, what could I makes me a better player? What am I weak? And look back on the game where you just play and say, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. That sort of thing. You have to spend time with your craft. It's not just playing either or training. You need to look at what you're doing, look at your mistakes, look at how you could have done better, look how you could be better for your team. All of those things help you make you become a better footballer. I must tell you that nowadays coaches now are getting astute at looking for the things that makes you a better footballer. Not the 170 yards pass you make everybody remember it and say ball. No, it's the little things that you should be doing. Coaches are looking out for. That is why people make the big bucks, because they can do the little things very, very well and help them team to win.
What about this in cricket, right? And Brian, you know this. I don't know if Mr. Speed is aware of it, but he said that cricket was his favorite sport growing up. But in cricket, they have what they call is a yo-yo test. And I know many people have said that as long as you can make 100 or 50 ball, you don't need no yo-yo test, right? So my question,
Man, let me stop you before you go no further. All in the West Indies alone thought them foolishness there. Yeah? All in the region alone thought them foolishness there. So nobody go no further, brother. Only in our region alone thought them foolishness there.
Because there was a time when the world realized that they couldn't compete us with just sheer talent alone, because we had like some of the most devastating bowler, we had some of the most exciting batsmen. And they looked at what could they do to start to compete with us. And one of the things that they looked at first was the fitness. They could keep going for much longer than us because they worked on their fitness. If you look at the Australian teams, I mean, they're probably the one who probably those times start to have this physio that goes everywhere with them. So it's just we alone believe talent is everything. But there's a whole book and there's a whole verse and there's a whole set of literature on it. Talent is not enough.
Yeah. What I will say is that Jamai Topi came back and he was overweight. Even when he was playing at Cavaliers, he wasn't at full fitness. This man has shed several pounds, and I mean, it's a different, his whole physique, even his game has changed. And so Nicque need to do that because he's still young, but this is like
Nicque is still at Mount Pleasant?
No, that's what I'm saying, that he's not with the first team because
no, but is he still with the club?
I don't think his contract has been terminated from my reports, but he's not in the first team right now. I'm not part of Mount Pleasant. I'm just a fan, so I don't know all the details. I don't know if you
No, you know a lot.
I don't know if you and Brian know more.
No, you know a lot, but I think you're mistaken. I think you don't have all the facts. But
so Fresh God is asking if we're not taking him back at Cavaliers. I don't know.
He's a Mount Pleasant player. I can't take him.
But what I want to ask is, Brian and Mr. Speed, at your clubs, do you do fitness tests that players have to pass to either play? Is there a fitness test that they have to take that includes certain things? Because, when when a player is transferred to Arsenal, as an example, in the Premier League, here they have to do medical and they have to do their fitness test. And if you fail the fitness test, they may not even, the contract may not go through if you fail it. Do the clubs have like I know Mount Pleasant, given what has happened to Nicque, Mount Pleasant have that. Do all the clubs have that, or do your clubs?
Mount
Speak for
Pleasant
your
have what? So have
some
what?
sort of test to measure whether or
Have
not
a
the team.
test now.
No, I
But
don't.
if what you say happen, then they didn't have the test at the first place. In the first place.
Yeah, they had the test in the first place,
So
and he
how
was
him
going
pass it?
through the test. He never passed it. That is what I'm saying.
Oh.
He was being given a pass, hoping that he would pass the test.
Okay.
but he never maximized the pass because he failed the test. So that is what happened. But Brian, does Mullines, like when Nicholas Nelson came back, did he have to go through a fitness test before you actually re-signed him?
Well, in his case, he wouldn't need to because he went away on loan. So it's not like we can say we're not taking him back. Sending him back to us. We have to take him back. But he was here for a while on training though. And yeah, we have a trainer and the technical staff and the trainer, they do collaborate and have fitness
Yeah.
tests at different intervals. But yeah,
Say,
he was here training for a while before he came back to play.
say for example, hypothetically speaking, I said, like, listen, I want $100,000 from a monthly salary at any one of Miss at Cavaliers or at Mount Pleasant, and they say, well, we have some concerns about your fitness. Do you bring me through some rigorous fitness regime to say, okay, well, you passed the test, so we can start talking money now? Or do you say, well, you can't even pass the test, so we can't even negotiate. We can't start negotiating at 100. We have to start it from $10 because you can't even pass the test. You have to come in at entry level because you're at the entry level of fitness, and the entry level salary is 30,000. And then, is that how it works in the league or with your club specifically?
So if Messi don't play football for 6 months and come to your club, you'd give him a test like that and say if he not pass in the attention.
No, man, you can't put Messi in this conversation.
No, but that is but if you extrapolate, you realize that argument don't make it because
No, of course
if
it makes it.
if a player have ability, fitness can come. So what you pick first is ability, and then the fitness come.
All right, but
I'm
here's
just saying you go about it the wrong way. Yeah.
no, I don't think like the players you're talking about are game changers, are close to being game changers. There is no player that I think is a game changer available locally now that I would say, listen, boy, him
In
not
the
fit.
red stripe in the JPL.
In other words, I
How
don't see.
about Stuart? Stuart and a game changer.
No,
Mannings,
no.
but you see,
Unfit.
yeah, but Mannings, you see, being a game changer is relative, you know, because I mean, what it requires to be a game changer in the English league may not be what is required to be a game changer in our Premier League.
So you're saying that an unfit player could still offer value in the present. So all right,
No, but he would offer no money. But what Mr. Speed is saying now, which I agree with him now, is at the first sign you are looking at if the player have the ability to impact your team, you know. Because if the player has the ability to, then the fitness aspect of it can be improved over time, you know, based on when him come or whatever, you know. Where you will have an issue now is in the situation that you're saying now, where the player have the ability but him not meeting the fitness requirement.
All right,
And
so
then at that time now you probably have to say we are part ways.
let me give you an example. Let's use Nicque Daley. He's a free agent now. And the report coming out was that he failed a fitness test at Mount Pleasant. Would you sign him?
You mean him fail the first fitness test?
I don't know if he's the first, the second, or the third, but him
No,
not
but
pass
they
the
want
fitness.
to know if he was fit first and then him
No,
get unfit.
but that is not it. No, but no, we're not.
But Manning, that is important. That's the important question. You know why? Because it can be argued that. I'm not about to say that. I'm not about to say that.
I am asking if you believe he's such a game changer that you would sign him for your club now.
Well, not me, but remember when I was listening first when Mount Pleasant wasn't scoring goals in the initial stage, I heard his name being talked about by the technical staff. Say, well, we have Nicque now and him soon start. You know, as soon as him papers finalized, he'll be ready to play. Did you remember those interviews from the technical staff?
I cannot recall. I'm laughing. I cannot recall.
So clearly they sign him off ability, right? And
Yeah.
and one of the other things why people sign player is also because them think their resale value will be good. So you get a young player who has ability, who used to do stuff like what he used to do before, score a lot of goals, went overseas on contract, come back. So they sign him because of potential. And that's really what you sign players are first, because the rest, fitness with the right attitude can come. And there's really potential to look at players for first, what they can do to impact your team. And players can have potential, but you just don't want them either. You know? So maybe just make it understand. But
Okay.
but I mean, on the surface side, you know, and Nicholas Hamilton, Alex Marshall, and Nicque Daley, who played in the league before, are easy sign, man. You don't want to sign them for too easily if them come back unavailable. You know.
Yeah. All right. I see a couple of questions, but I understand the point you guys are making. So, people, here's how it is going to work. I have I have a very big personality that I am contemplating. Should I bring him on the show this evening? All right. I want to do that, but you have to get the likes up on this video. A lot of you have been saying, man, you need to get this person. The surname ends with a H. Right? That's all I say. If you want him, you have to hit up the like button. You have to subscribe, increase the subscription. So when I do this video later today, if we get into it, if we get all the likes up, we're going to have probably around 1,000 likes on it. So go ahead right now. We have an early call on the show, so let's see if I can take this call. I think he has a question for Mr. Speed. Welcome to the show, Pine Action. Just started. We have Mr. Rudolph Speed from Cavaliers and Brian Martin from Mullines. What say you today? Gunners, boss.
No.
You're breaking up, we're not hearing you clearly.
I seen put a question in the place. How important is coaching during a game?
It's okay, Chief. I have the box. Sorry about.
We're not hearing you clearly, Gunners, boss.
Put him question up now. Maybe that's what you want.
Yeah, we're hearing you clearly now. Is it the question you want Mr. Speed to answer? Because I'm about to answer it right now. The one that you typed in about how important is coaching during a game. No, Mr. No, Lord have mercy. No, Mr. Speed, put up the question so you can answer.
Just man. You know we better than that, man. Just disregard what we said, man.
No, me know see a trouble you give, man. But the phone breaking up, man. Where are you? You're in one of them big backward, them Farcliffe or something, man. We're not hearing you clearly, man. Yeah. Mr. Speed, so you can answer his question. Gunners boss, you have to call back when the line gets a little better. Oh, he's calling back. Gunners boss, fix up your line, man. Still not getting. Mr. Speed, go ahead and answer the question.
Oh yeah, in our coaching, there is a whole lesson and just or what you do during a game is really something that if you're good at it, you can win games that you're not supposed to win. You can draw a game that you're supposed to lose if you really do very good coaching during a game. So one of the things they have to understand is how to keep the game in a perspective, and you have to keep the game in a perspective real time. So because you could be doing something and you want to change, you have to keep the game in a perspective in real time. The other thing is, remember, what you do affects how your players play. So again, you have to calm and cool and decisive, and just talk and give proper instructions. Talk for talk's sake. So all of those things is so important for the player to bring out the best in the players. You have to make tactical changes during the game.
All right, hold on, boss. Mr. Speed answering to you. Hold on. Go ahead, Mr. Speed.
Right, you have to make tactical changes during the game. So those again, you have to on point. This is also where assistant coaches are very important. A lot of people don't understand how important they are. You could have one of your assistant looking for defensive. You could have one of your assistant looking when you're in position, one looking what happening when you're out of position, one looking for weaknesses that you might be standing there and don't see by yourself because you are the head coach and have so much things to consider. So coaching through a game is very important, but you need help to coach properly through a game. But again, you know, you have some coach play checkers and some play chess. So some coach look to see, you know, make sure you make your changes them first, then them retaliate based on what you do. All of those things have to take into consideration. But when you're coaching during a game, as I say, you must make sure you keep the game in its perspective. That is the most important thing, keep the game in its perspective. You might be leading 1-0, but that don't mean you're playing better than the team. So you have to realize that as a coach. You might be under 1 and you're still playing better. So why you need to change anything, right? You could, because there's something in coaching near luck, you know, in football near luck. So coaching during a game is so important. There's a lot of aspects to it that you have to figure out. There's the match resistance that you have to figure out too when you're coaching during a game. For instance, the referee, you have to understand how he refs, how he thinks, right? You have to understand so you can't make a player them start the foolishness because they get too angry, they're not in control of themselves. You have to understand, say, if a team play at home, then likely to get a little bit more better calls than you get, because it's just the nature. You have to understand so the team might play different at home than an away. So coaching during a game is such an underrated skill that if you have it, you could get results that you normally wouldn't have gotten.
All right, wonderful. Gunners, boss, I think we have you back online. Go ahead now.
Yeah, man, because I asked that question because I hear some people saying coaching and game day is necessary. A 15% them give coaching and game day.
How much percent?
15%?
Because 15% of the credit is given to a coach, and whether the team win or lose. It is irrelevant to have a coach and game because all the preparation are made during the week leading up to the game.
Yeah, but you could prepare the team. You have a brilliant strategy where in a training into work and you beat up the reserve team 5-love, 10-love. But suppose, for instance, you prepare the team to just simple to play high press, you know, and the team that you come up against is a team that can beat the press easy. A suicide, you just commit, you know. No care you prepare the team during the week. You understand what I say? So suppose you go to the team on a high press. You never know so the team are prepared for play through the lines, break your lines them easily when you're high press. So you go there and say you have a high press and team just break your line and score on you. What you do? Continue. You have to realize quickly, say, okay, this is happening to me. Me have to adjust. So coaching on the game day, it's true that is not that alone make you win, but it can be a great contributor. And sometimes I'm more than 15%. So you know.
Yeah, and a lot of things change, and it's a lot of that is in context of the game, the score line, where you're playing, surface, like I said, the time official, the weather conditions, you know, the tactics being deployed by your opponent, all of those things. So there are some games where you only probably need 15% because everything is going to the script. Next game, you need 90% of what happens is on game day because the whole context of things change. So there's no one set thing or one set way, I believe, where this is concerned.
And so if you're a good game day person, not just the game itself, but the preparation during the game. Remember some of the time too, you have different objectives from the game where you have played, you know. Remember, you might have long-term objectives to do certain things, you know. So all of those things you have to take into consideration as a coach and decide what is best for your team, etc. I mean, so sometimes you even have to make a disciplinary action because you know, say if you not do it in a short term on that day, in a long term you don't have no club again, or you're not on a team.
Yeah.
So game day thing, people take it for granted, but trust me, is one aspect of the football that is underrated how successful it is with teams. So for instance, you have the really good teams, them have like 8-9 coach. You never see the head coach even not talk to a man and him go on because already him and him assistant coach decide what the player go do before they go on. So you know exactly, and you see assistant coach talk to him while the coach concentrate on the game. You ever some coach say something miss me because him turn back to do something when he should not do. These are all the intricacies of game day management, and I mean, trust me, it's very important. You can't not have it. You need to have it down pat, and the more experienced you are, the better you get at it.
In game, to me, in game and half-time adjustment is very important for the coach. So the coach step on the sideline and see something, and him call a player, the captain or whoever available, and him say, yo, this is how we want to do this, and him disseminate the content to the other rest of the player them on the field, right? Because in a soccer game where you're running 45 minutes, you don't really have no time to really coach with the noise and all of those things. Well, you can do make some hand signal and them things. But let me ask you a next question now. When over Cavaliers, do you have a film room over there?
Have a what?
Film
A
room.
film room.
Where you watch
No,
that? Yeah.
No. But as we said, nowadays it's not. No. Remember, I know it's peer
Oh,
generation.
oh man, you say no.
No. But I'm going to
You
tell
say
you
no.
that it's not like I don't do anything. No. Hold on. It's not like I don't do anything. All right. Continue.
Why I ask that question? So you're playing Cavaliers Bay Harborview Sunday. I think you would have a day where you sit down with the players, watch films on Harborview game, the last one you play versus them, if it was a win or it was a loss, and take away from that by watching and breaking down their play or watching the last game, the last few games they play leading up to your game. So, and then you have the B team go out and mimic that team style of play that they teach them, that you're coaching to them to prepare them to play Harborview in a better way the next time y'all meet.
So I don't need the players to look at Harborview.
There you go.
how they play.
Exactly.
I look at Harborview and my coaches look at Harborview how they play.
There you go.
So we figure out. So once we look at it, we figure out what they do in possession and what they do out of possession, or what they do in set play situations, or whatever situations I think unique about them. Because you ever hear some team are just play conventional. They're nothing new, not change about nothing what them do. So what we do, we would decide what those are. We sit down and we come up with a training session for the week. This training session, the predominant training sessions for the week, that will give us the best method to deal with that team there on the weekend. And that is what we drill the teams through for the whole week.
Yeah.
But
So
of course,
But
of course, if we have anything on video, we send it to get the players. Our generation Z,
Yeah.
I said this. You just send
I'm
the
saying,
video.
yeah. Our clubs don't. Arsenal don't do that. City don't do that. But them have the entire team sit down in a film room.
No.
Them think they have NFL pie in action. NFL. When you have different schemes and plays and X's and O's and things. Football evolved past that, man. When you look at the sidelines of the football game, look at it. You see them have some tablets. I show the players what to do now. Them don't need no film room. The coaches sit down and watch those things and then come out.
So what we do is have this whiteboard session where we show the teams what the teams are in a position and out of position.
Yeah.
So we would do that a whiteboard session, and show them move how we want them to move, what the team will do and what they won't do. So it's not like we don't do anything. But for videos, normally send you give them, then watch it on them phone and when they feel like, when they're ready.
Yeah. Yeah, but go ahead. Last thing, because we need to get back to the JPL. I don't want to go too far from it. You understand me? So go again. Final thing.
Okay, well, I thought I just want to make my little contribution to the big bad show because with the somewhere else, I get migraine and I say, you know what, I have to go over my place, you know.
Hey, here's a more
CC don't come on the show no more.
Me say CC no there Jamaica. Me no know. CC alright, but CC good. But listen what I have to tell you. HH will be on the show later today. Big.
Who is it?
You have to go figure that out. But tell the people them say don't miss Manny's man next show today. HH, the big man. I got up on I Am Sure Sports today.
Give me a little more. Give me a little more hints. Let me see if I can figure it. Give me 2 more hints.
He's a coach, man. He's a coach named HH.
What coach is? Oh, a coach is this thing that we just forgot there. It's a speed and a coach is this. I me the ask Mr. Steve to do a live while it's the analyze. If that's your coach,
Is a coach, man. Everybody ask.
if it's a speed, you want me to tell you, you see two from way back in the days, me know the Duncan destroyers now. When you take out Duncan destroyers and Sergeant Cavalier, it's always been a mad organization and always care for the younger youth. So you only have to, I wish you to continue success, and continue to do some good things, but you know what me have to get to do now. Concentrate on Cavaliers and build some players and retire from over there. Yeah, you can do that to me. Because it's so funny, I'm saying you can do better over Cavaliers, more than over there, And when the man never show the atom bomb them, some are duck and all them things, and already in a good position, in a bad position because he's a part of the organization, So that's what I say to you, like how you have a professional outfit. Run with that.
All right, me hear you.
All right, big up, brothers, boss.
All right.
Yeah. All right, so people, hit up the like button because if we don't get enough like, me go postpone the big thing, So you know it go already. All right. So let's get back to and welcome to everyone in the comment section. Mr. Speed, I saw this question up earlier, and I think thanks BM was asking something similar. And let me get from Brian because he has been quiet for a while. Why so much of the baller that play overseas are come back in the JPL? BM said, what BM can ask something similar. What are your thoughts on many promising young players returning to Jamaica? Could we say these players are not being developed properly at home? So he's asking a couple of questions. So I'm going to ask Brian and then Mr. Speed you, and then Ricky Teng is asking you, Mr. Speed, if Mark Sullivan in the referee department, he's saying, is he still part of the JFF? I don't know that name. I guess he's a referee, so maybe one of the two of you can answer that. But Brian, what say you to the first question?
So the first question is why so many players come back from overseas?
So many of the young promising players.
I think the simple answer is they're not good enough for that level. I want to say not good enough. I don't mean them don't have the talent or them don't have the ability to play football. But I just think that at that level, your talent is important, but there are other things that are important too, that I don't think as a country we have been able to holistically develop the players in that regard. And I would say this, so you'll have a player who comes to a club and they start certain professional attributes and stuff and they function in that environment. But then, like a player, he's 17, 18, but then he goes back to play schoolboy football and he's there from the summer, go all the way up to December. Let's say his team does well, all the way up to December. Then you find that a lot of times some of the attributes that he would have been taught at clubs are not so much impressed upon, or he's not required of him at the schoolboy level. And because of his ability, he's able to get away with it. And so it goes rather unseen. And then you find now that when they come back to the club, it's almost like trying to train them over again. And while we may have the patience out here, when you go overseas, the people, them can't bother to be teaching all of those things over and over again. And the moment they think that you're not able to contribute to their team in the way in which they want, then they're just going to send you back because you have a lot of players, millions of them trying for the opportunity that you are given. It's not like in Jamaica where the talent is not in great abundance or not there a lot. In certain aspects, when you go overseas to Europe or even the Americas, there are millions of people who are coming from all over the world looking for an opportunity, who are also willing to do what you are not doing. So, I mean, the clubs are not that patient with the players. And so you find that a lot of times when they go overseas, they come back. And I don't think most of the times it's because of their ability to play football. I think there are other things that contribute to it. What's the next question?
No, the person was asking about, Ricky Teng was asking about a referee called Mark Sullivan.
Oh no, I heard that name before, but I don't know if he's a part of the
Okay.
JPL.
Mr. Christie has arrived, the man who sits at the top of the table. We started out talking about Nicque Daley not being a part of the Mount Pleasant setup.
So, Mr. Sullivan, he used to be one of the referee assessors. He used to deal with some of the coaching of the referees to like when them have them sessions with it. You know, they call it their coaching sessions. Um, so he was like one of the personnel. So I think what you call it, assign the referees, but that
Okay.
assignment has moved on to other referees now. So he's no longer doing it.
Okay. Okay. All right, Mr. Christie. So Mr. Speed, you have several cover. Welcome, Mr. Christie, to the show. We soon get to
Thanks
you
for
because
having
I got this text and they say, Manning's man, when Mr. Christie comes on, ask him why Mount Pleasant love draws so much. No, draw a game, they say more than you're the estate.
Man, you're Christian, you know, man.
No, is it text to people that send me something doesn't read it? That's anytime Mr. Christie come on, management asking why Mount Pleasant. You understand me? So I just thought we gonna get to that. But Mr. Speed, you have had several players from Cavaliers who have gone away and they have come back. I mean, what are some of the factors you think that contribute to that happening?
I let them down.
Really? Oh, you know what?
also,
The professionalism part, the
I
tactical
let,
part, the technical part, or the physical part. Or all
well,
of them
I
come back.
mean, I have someone not come back either, but the truth is, um, I myself used to have problems with some of the players because, I mean, they spend a lot of time in the school system, and when you're a star player in a school system, you actually there's a lot of bad habits like you know have to run back. The coach will say, "Oh, just stay up there and wait till your team win the ball and get," and then just say, "Give to you." So a lot of these players never even learn to play without the ball. A lot of these players score a lot of individual goals, spectacular individual goals, pass, volley for people and score, beat volley for people and score. But when it comes to team goals, if you can go back and look at their number of team goals, they are almost non-existent. Now, football is not an individual sport. You know, yes, there's some individual brilliance that is necessary, and there's also individualism that is necessary, especially in duels, right? One on one, whether it's a sprint, whether it's a jump, whether it's a, you know, but in most of the successful team is because they play as a team. And this is where I think a lot of Jamaican players struggle to not have that individualism in them because we're born with it. So I think that's really the problem.
All right, yeah, you have anything to say on that, Mr. Christie? Because
well,
you're connected to Atafari Bygrave. You also have Nicque Daley, who returned from overseas. Two players at your club are players who went away and they're back.
yes. Well,
Nick
there's
Daley
a
was from my club.
Yeah, man, but right. I mean that, but he came back and is at Mount Pleasant, but he left from Cavaliers and Atafara left from Dunby Holden, but came back to Mount Pleasant. So I figured it probably are familiar with probably some of the reasons. I don't know. So let's hear from Mr. Christie.
well, as it relates to why players come back from or why players are unsuccessful, I think it's not only down to talent alone. As Mr. Speed rightfully said, it's not only down to individual brilliance, it's an entire package. The level of professionalism, the level of how to integrate in a team and how you fit in as part of the unit. These are some things, these are some genuine factors that can have you stay or send you back. Because they are saying, listen, the player look homesick, the player look like he's just not able to fit in our system and culture down here. And he's not making any friends, all of these things. He's not communicating. And from as far back as 2000, I knew of these experiences. So it's a lot of reasons because see, Mr. Speed would have had sent people abroad who is still abroad, and he could have sent people abroad who has returned. But it all have to do with your preparation and your mindset. It's not only your skill, your preparation and mindset, and
Yeah.
your ability to adjust and integrate. These are some factors that will in addition to your talent, because we have seen a lot of talented players return to Jamaica, and you wonder how is he back, but you only see what is happening on the field. Off the field, there are a myriad of reasons. And training habits as well. I can tell you about training habits. These people are not very tolerant with people who are late or absent from their sessions. These things will cause you to lose contract as well.
All right, wonderful. Listen, there's a lot we haven't covered, so we're gonna make up some time right now. Just want the people to know if you're watching and you want tickets to go to the Monday night games. The Monday night games, we're gonna talk about panelists. We're gonna talk about them because I have the tickets to give away. Right? I have a ticket for you and I have a ticket for your lady, whomever you are. So you get 2 tickets. All right. I have 2 sets of 2 tickets. So that means 2 persons could win 2 tickets to go to the Monday night games. We're going to begin with those fixtures and then we're going to work ourselves through to the rest of the fixtures. So the Monday night fixtures at Arnett Gardens, right? The first game will be Harborview versus Dunbeholden. Dunbeholden coming off a 4-2 victory in their last game against Falkland. Harborview coming off a 0-0 draw with Mount Pleasant. These are the teams that met in the finals last year, and everybody anticipated Dunbeholden, but they lost. They lost to Harborview. Dunbeholden integrated some of the young players. Gowie is playing. We saw also Malachi Douglas, Burkett coming on. We haven't seen Nikai Christian recently. Odie Samuels was man of the match. Harborview have Krista J. Daley. The game against Mount Pleasant was a very, 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 very good game. They were without Colorado Murray and a couple of other Josh and Anglin, and they really brought the game to Mount Pleasant, right? So, Dunbeholden Harborview. Let me get the thoughts of the 3 men and a score prediction. You can also put your prediction in the comment section. The 5 o'clock game at Arnett Gardens. And if you need tickets, just call in and you'll answer 1 question and you get the tickets to the game. Who wants to go first? Dunbeholden versus Harborview.
They have met 11 times. Dunbeholden and Harborview. Harborview has won 5. 3 have been drawn. And they have lost 3 to Dunbeholden. So Harborview has gotten the better Dunbeholden so far. When you look at these 2 teams, the truth is you're not sure what is really happening. Dunbeholden, in the last 5 games, they have won 2, drawn 1, and lost 2. Harborview has lost 2 also, 1, 2, and drawn 1. They have identical records. So they are kind of hot and cold, good performances here and there. None of them really scoring a lot of goals anymore. Harborview had started out very well, but now they have both Dunbeholden and Harborview have scored 18 goals. Harborview conceded 12, Dunbeholden 16. If I was going to give anybody an edge, I would give it to Harborview to get the odd goal because their defense is a little bit sounder. They have had good defensive performances in the last couple of weeks. But as a goal scoring threat, Dunbeholden is doing better now in the latter part of this competition, and Harborview started with a bang. And now that I say all of those things, I'm going to say the match is going to draw. I don't want to think about it.
Okay. Milan draw. Our goals will be in it.
1-1. 1-1.
All right. Listen. All right. Go ahead, Mr. Christie. Let me hear your thoughts. You saw them on Sunday. You saw both teams on Sunday at Drax also. Let me hear your thoughts.
Well, both teams, both Harborview and Dunbeholden, I have seen a little shift in their starting lineup, but they are both full of energy and they are both full of youthful exuberance. They are, as you rightfully said, there were a lot of teenagers in both teams. Uh, I already asked about Christian. He was a little bit under the weather for last week. That's why he was not available. Uh, he's basically their engine, so whenever he's available, he will.
Anyway, that's not what I heard why I'm not playing, Paul. And you know,
Well, I can tell you, he's actually under the weather. He was ill. He was serious. He was ill. I did not want to disclose all the details, but he was actually ill. Did not train last week. That creative spark, however, despite the fact that Dun Bowling is not having the creative spark, they are doing a lot more movement in the and running in the middle of the park. So they're actually compensating for the lack of of that creative spark in the middle. They have a good midfield shape. However, their defensive shape is very inconsistent because even though they would have even scored 4 goals on Veer and Parkland, they would have conceded 2 soft goals. One of them is a penalty, and rightfully so. And the other one was just basically they hand that gift to Parkland. Maybe they wanted the game to be competitive. On the other hand, our view is a little bit more solid in the defense line. Midfield, good, youthful. I am impressed with the kid by the name of J. Daley. Yeah, that, to me personally, when I look at him, he was moving effortlessly between the lines and he had some creative sparks. Our view defensive shape might be difficult to break. However, there's a kid by the name of Stephen Barnett at Dunbowling. I think he's winding up into form. He looks good. He's getting behind the line of the Falkland defense line effortlessly. So how I see it, the defensive shape will be the deciding factor. Both teams are able to create chance, although since recently Arborview is not creating a lot of chance. However, I think this game will be won and last based on the discipline and how you keep your defensive shape. So where that is concerned, I think Arborview as a more solid defense line. However, I think the firepower of Dunbowling, they are not. People would have been expecting more from the firepower. There are players who have been who were doing well in the Premier League. Have the quality to continue to do well. They are just not doing well at the offensive lineup. However, they can turn it on at any time. They might be motivated to play the Arborview team to prove that we are actually able to compete with you. The last time they met, Arborview would have beaten them soundly. So they might have a point to prove. And all of that being said, I think this game will end in a draw.
Boy, all of that, the man take 10 minutes if he said 2-2 or 1-1. What wrong with him, man? Anyways, D Slim is saying that he's asking if Tariq Magee is in the league. Tariq Magee has a contract, so he cannot be in the league, and the contract has not been terminated.
Magee plays for UPenn in Belgium.
Yes, so he cannot. And he also says that you need to tell the fans what is going on with Nicque Christian, right?
Well, one thing I can tell you, he was in the hospital for a couple of days.
Okay, so there you go. Say no more. Say
So
no. Say no
yeah.
more. All right. Brian, what is your game prediction?
Um, all right. So I think that because of they have been very overly reliant on the creative aspect of Christian for a very long time. Um, and, and I think that with him being absent, it has proven a little bit difficult for them to find creative ways of breaking down teams and breaking the lines and stuff. Um, yeah, I heard Mr. Chris talk about Barnett. I think Barnett is a good player, but I think Harborview will have a more resolute defense than the one in which Dumbo played against in the last game. I saw Peter McGregor in the game, and he just looked as if he was struggling or he's lacking in confidence and stuff. Um, I think Christo J. Daly had a very good game against Mount Pleasant, and between himself, I don't know if Colorado Murray will be back for that game, but between himself and Nicholas Hamilton and some of the other attacking players that Harborview have, I'm giving them a 1-0 victory over Dumbo.
All right, so there you go, Brian. Hey, short and spicy. Listen, there's a caller calling. You can call back, right? And we'll try to connect you. All right. So I listen, I think Dumby Wallen has got things going. I think that Stephen Williams Barnett and Williams is going to be problems for Harborview because they play so direct. Harborview have a very solid defense, but I think if they don't have Colorado Murray and Joshan Anglin, they're not going to score because they use, I think, Guard Stewart as a center forward. And I think that is going to limit the amount of goal scoring opportunities they have. So if Anglin comes back and Colorado Murray is there, I would give Harborview the win. Without them, Dumby Holden is going to win. Dumby Holden will score in this game. Watkins didn't play in the last game, which affected how they defended because he made a horrendous mistake in the game before that. And so they benched him. So let's see what will happen in this particular game. So, how about you? Without Anglin loses the game and Murray. With them, it's a drawn game. That is my prediction. Remember, people, I have tickets to the El
But
Clasico.
uh,
Yeah.
Anglin was out on card though, He should be back for this game.
Okay, well, there you go. So if he's back, problems in that midfield. The next game is Arnett Gardens versus Waterhouse. Waterhouse has been steadily climbing the chart. Arnett Gardens, I mean, they beat Cavaliers. And how did their game go on Sunday? They lost, right? The last
No,
result.
they defeated Portmore 2-1.
They
One on it,
defeated.
win again.
Yeah, they won again. So let's go through. Let's see if we can go nippy through this one. Arnett Gardens versus Waterhouse. Talk to me.
Right. So just to kind of give some background, which I always try to do. Arnett Gardner and Waterhouse have played the last 58 times that I know of. It is Arnett Gardner has won 15, drawn 17, and lost 26 times to Waterhouse. So Waterhouse kind of owned them. So Waterhouse has scored 81 goal against Arnett Gardner 63. They have a minus 18 goal difference. So definitely Waterhouse own them. But this year they are going in two different directions. Usually Waterhouse is at the top of the league. 1 or 2 for the last 5 or 6 years. They have always been at the top 1 or 2. My intelligence is that Waterhouse is saying that they have been there over the years and not carrying on the bacon. So what they are thinking of is build slowly and come from behind. They are now 7th in the league and looking up the table at the top 6. Now I'm going to go out and give Waterhouse the edge here because if Waterhouse doesn't win this one, then of course the top 6 aspiration becomes very, very shaky if they don't count this one. So I'm going to go with Waterhouse. They will win by 2 goals to 1. Because they have to. They have no choice. They have to win.
All right. All right. Let's see who next. Yeah, man.
Well,
Mr. Christie, go ahead. Let me see. Yeah. What is your prediction?
well, it's always an entertaining event when Waterhouse and Arnett is in battle. So I'm going for an exciting 2-all draw for Waterhouse Arnett as well.
All right. Brian?
Um, so I think one of the things that has happened this season that Waters has been very inconsistent. Um, the last game they they defeated Moby by 3 goals at home. I think Arnett defeated Portmore by 2 goals to 1. Um, but I think on their day when Waterhouse team click, they can be really difficult to beat. Um, I don't see Arnett Garden stopping them from scoring. Um, and I just think that Arnett they concede too easily. In the last couple of games, I think they have just conceded too easily. And it's a derby game, so anything can go. I'm picking Waterhouse to win in the odd goal, 1-0 or 2-1.
All right. All right. So let's go to our next fixtures. Mobile United versus Mullines at Westport Park in the 1 o'clock game. And at 3:15, Falkland FC versus Humble Lion. All right. Let's go through these games quickly. Give me your predictions. Mr. Speed, go first because you always have the stats on the team.
This game is between who?
Mobile United and Mullines in the 1 o'clock game at Westport Park, and then Falkland will go up against Humble Lion in the 3:15 game, also at Westport Park. Remember, if you want to go to the Arnett Garden games, we have tickets available for you. You just call in and you can win the tickets. Go ahead, Mr. Speed.
Right. So Mobile United and Mullines has only met 3 times since Mullines came to the Premier League, and is pretty even Steven. Sorry, no. They have won one and lost 2 to Mobile. So Mobile has have the better of Mullines. So if you look at both teams' direction in the last 5
Manage,
games,
man.
Yeah, man. Caller, hold on a sec. We soon come to you. All
in the
right,
last
Mr. Speed, finish. Just hold on.
5
All right.
games, Mobile
Yeah,
would
man.
have lost 3 and drawn 2. Mullines would have lost 3 to 1 and drawn 1. Mobile has 17 points, Mullines have 15. What is astonishing about Montego Bay is after the first 4 rounds of the Premier League, they were actually the leader with 10 points. And they have gotten 7 points from 11 games. So clearly you can see that Mobile is really is a team in decline at this particular point in time. Mullines has 15 points from 15 games. And they are a team that is they keep the games close, they win some, they lose some, or they draw some. They have a way of surprising. Here, why I'm giving Mullines the hedge here. Mullines has some quality striker in Nelson, and also what's his name? Michael recently for me. Mullines tend to score goals. They have scored 14 goals, so they can score goals. Montego Bay will come and try to play Mullines normally. They won't play the normal defensive, everybody in their own half, defending their own half. They'll try to play Mullines because they're bigger than in the normal one. And that is why I'm going to give Mullines a 1-0 victory over Montego.
All right. All right, Mr. Speed. Let's take the call online. Caller, yeah, man. Who do we have online? Go ahead and share your name, man. What do we call you?
Yeah, man. Call Gregor.
Gregor.
Yeah, man.
All right, yeah, man. Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah, man. Respect, man. Manage, man. Yeah, manage, man. I just now listen to some comments of Coach Al Grimson. Am I pronounce his name right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen to him comment on the top of the surface. That's what I mean. And I tell us that the surface is a big problem. All right, now I thought somebody to come up with the kind of technology and spend the money to use tires. You understand me? Because my son plays some football to one of Fortune. You know Fortune? I was a Fortune playing program.
Yeah,
One of
man.
Fortune
Yeah,
teams.
man. Yeah,
And
man. Yeah, man.
the surface is, yeah. But when my son starts flipping the surface, it's just come from Jamaica and say, whoa, for me. And basically the surface consists of base mostly like recycled tires. And find out if it grind up the tire and lay them out and make the surface. That's what I mean. No, it might not be for games, but at least it's a practice so they can have a consistent bound. I mean, also enough time on a Riverton City and all about where them can use, they can get the right technology to process it. That's what I mean. Wait, man. Instead of we did that, you understand what I say?
Okay. So
So what
yeah.
are the listeners them think about that?
Well, let's hear. First, I'm hearing about it, so I couldn't. You understand me? Yeah. First, I'm hearing about that.
Yeah, man. Next time you talk to Fortune, man, just ask him if I know that them use and train for.
Okay, I'll
And play
definitely.
matches too.
All right, so I'll definitely check on that. All right, but
Yeah, man.
we should so listen to the program later because we can probably
Yeah,
ask some more questions of the person who
yeah,
spoke about
man.
the surface later today.
Because right now, I'm a youth referee, you know. I'm going to refer one game, 6:45. And an artificial surface about play fun. Right in North Carolina. So I mean,
Okay,
so,
okay,
yeah,
all
man.
right.
So
Like the
respect.
suggestion,
Me
so I'd
out.
love to hear what some other person think about that though. So yeah, man.
Yeah, man. All of them tied on a Riverton City, man. Grind them up and mince them up and lay them out and make some surfaces, man. The technology is there. So I mean,
Yeah, man. All right then, color respect. Yeah, man.
yeah,
There
man.
you go.
Respect.
There's a good suggestion to use create artificial surfaces using stuff like tires. That's something that we need to look at. All right, Mr. Christie, Mobile versus Mullines, and then let me hear from Brian quickly, and then we'll go to the next game.
Well, I'm going to pick based on the farm. The farm is Bobby is definitely struggling. Uh, Mullines is gathering some points, so I'm going to go with Mullines.
All right, Brian. All right, not hearing
Yeah,
Brian.
yeah. Hello, you're not hearing me?
Hearing you now, yeah.
Um, man, is I'm not commented.
Yeah. All right. Listen. I think Mobile United is going to get a point out of this game. So Mullines, I don't think they would feel bad going down to Montego Bay and getting a point. So I'm going for a draw in Montego Bay. Mullines and Montego Bay United. The second game will be the game between Falkland FC, who played very good at Draxall, but they lost the game. Humble Lion has been the resurgence of Humble Lion. They have been winning some games. Yeah. So my prediction for that one is that Falkland is going to concede. How much? I don't know. But they're also going to score because they seem to always be scoring in games. So I think this is going to be a 2-2 scoreline. Go ahead, Mr. Speed, and then we hear from Mr. Christie. Mr. Speed, we're not
Mute
hearing
your
you.
mic, Mr. Fleet. Unmute your mic.
Oh yeah. So Umberline and Falkland has only met one time, and as you know, Umberline won the game by 3 goals to nil. So it wasn't 2 goals to nil. So it was really a mismatch there. They are in much different positions now. Umberline was slowly getting to their strides. After that, Umberline have been having a really good season. They look like their veteran players stepping up with a couple of young players that they have added. They're not missing the captain so much. That went down to Mount Pleasant, you know. They kind of get over him by now. So Falkland, though, when I look at them, their defense is they concede 30 goals. I mean, No other team in the league has conceded 30 goals so far except them. And I don't think even if they tried, they could stop anybody from scoring against them. So I think Umberland is gonna score against them. Thing why I give Umberland even by the slimmest of margin is that Umberland has the second best defensive unit in the league. They have only conceded 9 goals. They've only scored 16, but because of that defensive record that they have, Falkland will not have it their way. Falkland will concede. So the farm book said Umberland will win this match even by the slimmest of margin. So I give Umberland a win.
Sir Christie.
Well, one thing I can tell you, down at Westport Park, it's gradually proving to be a little bit of a fortress for this Falkland team. They would have won most of, they would have gotten most of their points from that venue. So it's a small field, suits their style of play. They normally play compact, and if you over extend yourself, they have a few players who can hit you on the counter because it's such a small field. They play a little bit. It suits the style of them playing compact. So I think this one will be Nilarja. You won't get any goals in this one.
Our Fresh God reminding us that Humberland actually defeated Mobile United down at Westport Park, so it wouldn't be a problem for his Humberland team to go down there to do that again. All right, Brian, what say you?
Yeah. So I would have seen both teams. I saw Umberland twice. I think Mullins played Falkland at the Westport Park. I agree with Paul that the size of the field suits them a lot more. But the truth is, Falkland is in a position now where they have to come and get points, and more 3 points than 1 point. So they're going to have to come out and try and attack to get goals. And I think that would expose them a great deal. I don't know if Vanzi will play in that game because the last game he came off in the second half injured, so I'm not sure how if he has recovered well enough to play. But
Brian, I don't want to interrupt you, but allow me to interrupt you for a minute. If you're smart in you navigate your way out of relegation. You see the teams that in and around you, those are the teams you go for the 6 pointers, and you try to get these other teams in the top 6 should be at what you call bonus points for Falkland. If they have any chance of surviving this Premier League, they need to actually look at the games that they want to actually go. They can't be going for 3 points all the time. They don't have the depth and quality to do that. They have to be wise. Sorry about that. Let me continue.
Yes, I agree, Paul, but I'm saying they are so far down that they need to get some 3 points. And you would want to think that the most ideal place for them to get 3 points is at home, or the field that is considered their home venue, where they'll have the support and stuff like that. So I think they're going to come out. I don't think they're just going to come and try to play behind the ball and defend the entire game. And even if they do that, I think Umberland have enough attacking threats to break them down and score a goal. So I'm thinking Umberland is going to win by 2-0. Because I don't see Falkland coming out trying to just defend the entire 90 minutes. And I don't think they possess the attacking threat to score more than probably 2 goals on Umberland or so. So I'm thinking Umberland is going to win by 2-0.
All right.
And also, we talk about senior players. Umberland brought back Ricardo Campbell from there. He's at Umberland now. He's playing centre back along with I think Gregory Lewis I think. So those senior players who have experience in the Premier League, their experience will also be good enough to help them to navigate this Falkland team. And I think the attacking players, especially when they're going down that right hand side to Virgo and stuff, they're going to be very difficult to stop them from scoring. And if they score first, Falkland will have no chance but to try and get back a goal, and that's going to further expose them.
Good point. Very, 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 very good point there. Ricardo, Ricardo Campbell is
What if Falkland decide that they'll try to have two line of four for straight this Umberland team and hope to eat them?
I don't think Falkland is going to play that way though, Mr. Christie, at home against Humble Lion. I don't see them doing that.
Okay.
With Gregory Palmer as the coach. Just giving my last interview with him after the game at Draxal, because they were creating, even when they were down, they came back into that game. They just never defended solidly, but they never stopped creating opportunities in the attacking third of the game. But let's get to the Sunday games up at JC. People, anybody, you need tickets for the game on Monday, please remember, yeah, man, to give us a call, all right? And you can win yourself a couple of tickets. We see Veer going up against Portmore United. These are the two draw machines playing. Mr. Speed, tell me how many times you have played on all the draws that I have.
So, Veer against Portmore United.
Farmer clown that baby.
Yeah, well, yeah. I remember I was asking somebody about a team from Spanish Town if they had anything in the Premier League or Tier 2, and they said Portmore United. I had to laugh because I couldn't understand why I would say that. All right, so Veer against Portmore United, they have met 10 times, right? Veer has won 2. 2 have been drawn. Portmore United has won 6 of those. They have, Veer has only scored 6 goals. Portmore United scored 14. So it has been a season like that where Portmore literally dominate Veer. Now, it is all about match resistance and the tactics that somebody might. Because if you look at both teams, Portmore United was doing exceptionally well after the first 9 games. They were in the top 6. And after that, with about 15 points, after that, they have 4 points hard to come by. In 6 matches, they have won. They have been able to win a match in 6 games. And they are lagging now in 8th position. Veer Jamaica, on the other hand, is in 12th position. They have only celebrated 4 times. They have only scored 4 goals in 15 games. And they have conceded 9. Portmore has conceded 11. Veer is really a very difficult team to beat. But here's the difference between both teams. Portmore will actually try to play for a win. Veer is just going to try and play for a draw. And if we give them the win, they take it. That's the difference between both teams. Now, Portmore has strengthened their team. They have brought in Alex Marshall, Lamar Walker. Alex Marshall had to give up at the number 10 to Lamar Walker. Lamar Walker now with the number 10. So you can see what is happening in Portmore team. They have 8. They have bought in players, name brand players. Really not players who have ever colored the league though, in terms of goal scoring, but they have such good ability. They have changed the way they play to their formation. They got 1 striker and 2 number 10 playing a box midfield. So you can see Portmore United have a lot of intent and trying to see if they can come up with table. Now, this is a draw match. The only way the match don't draw if Jamaica decide that they want to win the game, which they might think that they can, because the difference between them and Portmore is not to start. One has 14 points and the other one has 18. They might think it's a match for them and come out and play. But I still have to go with a draw. I don't think anybody will trouble the scorers Sunday.
All right, let's go. Mr. Christie?
I actually agree with everything that Mr. Speed said as it relates to Portmore and Veer. Veer keep the shape very, very well. However, with all the firepower that Portmore might perceive to have, they are not clicking. They are not playing with any form of chemistry. So I don't know if this will be the game, but based on what is happening so far, I'm gonna go out on a draw.
All right, Sir Maiten.
Same for me.
Okay, a draw game. I
Yeah,
think
Miller.
Lamar Walker is going to. I think they have a Walsh. I think who is a striker that came back to Jamaica as well. All right, all right. So he's there. So you have him. I mean, I think in this game they really look good enough defensively. That
Where's the
that
game gonna be? Oh, by JC.
yeah that boy, that surface is also a problem for me. I don't like that surface.
Yeah, and it's easy to defend a small field too. So the field is narrow. So
Yeah,
when they play
yeah,
the two
yeah, yeah.
lines there, it's difficult to break the lines and
Yeah,
use
yeah.
it
This
to
could be a
handle them.
draw game. This could be a draw game. This could be a draw game. And then after that, 5:30, Cavaliers. Kuda Speed versus Clovis de Oliveira.
Oh my word.
Go ahead. Clovis de Oliveira, big coach, pro license super coach versus a license coach. Mr. Speed.
So both teams have only met one time when Chapton was scored by Lenny Hyde. I mean, they met in Stadium East. It was an easy game for Cavalier. Cavalier won by 3 goals to 0. And then, Lenny Hyde was, I think he's probably was the second casualty of the Premier League this year. And and Chapter Maroon has their issues, deducting 6 points. And I think they call the owner Cash. He has turned to no other than a man from the country of the 5-time winning World Cup team. For help to see if they can, keep them up. But so they have looked at different teams in terms of how they try to play more, in the Brazilian game model. So we can see that evident. They play out from the back. They also try to high press the ball up the field. They have gone for some youngsters. They have gone for some veteran. They literally probably getting over more than a team since the departure of Lenny Hyde. They have really bought a new team. They have borrowed Cavaliers.
Erlan
Double
Elliott.
scorer. Yeah, Aaron Elliott. He's not eligible to play though, just to make sure people.
Also, he can't play in this game.
We won't
Oh,
we
you
don't,
don't let them.
we
That's
don't,
that's a given though, man's man.
Eh?
man is man. You
That's
don't
a
let him
given.
go.
You can let them out and use them.
I didn't know those things work in the JPL. You learn out players and they can't play against you.
Yeah, man. That's a given, man.
I bet
Come
you the man
on,
that I bet you the man that miss be a goal and that make him play.
man is man.
Actually, the man has scored 2 goals now. I'm just kidding.
So we did help them to get that 3 points. So why help them anymore? So the point is that people in the JPL getting professional management. Anywhere it happens, they don't allow them to play against the team. So it's just
Okay.
an improvement of the JPL. But Chapitan Maroon, you can see what they're trying to do. They brought in this youngster from St. Lucia, this 18-year-old youngster. He's leading the line. They have the man they call Range in their midfield, Evan Taylor. So
And they
Yeah,
also
but-
have Tajay Brown, who was at Portmore, captain for Clarendon College as well.
right. So they have gotten some players in.
And, yeah.
One thing I know that Clovis look like not the type to come and try and block up the game and try to just defend it. No, he's gonna play football all around, which suits us fine. Cavaliers.
No, you would love to see Clovis come out being so naive.
No, he's not naive. He's gonna come and play the Brazilian game model. Look here, most teams that play the Brazilian game, when Jamaica play Brazil, is 5 or 6. So he's not naive. He's a system that he knows that will work and that he's trying to incorporate. What is going to be the problem is did he have enough time? Time is gonna be his greatest problem. Did he have enough time to fashion this team to what he wants before they play a team like Cavalier? And I don't think he did. So I'm going with Cavalier.
You going with Cavaliers?
Yes.
Oh, but I mean, you never have to take so long to reach on it. We know the only team they don't pick a Cavaliers. You never don't pick Maroons to beat you.
No. I have to make the people understand that we know what is going
No, you
on.
have to make it so nice.
Mm.
But
All
I'm
right,
not
so
going with
Christy.
Cavaliers. I'm not going with Cavaliers. Yeah. I want Capitan to beat them. I said, we will limp the Maroons fee money.
I
I'm going to
want
go on a limp and say 1 nil.
no, but Paul, it's not. This is supposed to be an analysis, not to want. You must know what is going to happen.
All right, let us analyze it. As if Mr. De Oliveira thinks that he can come and play open football with this Cavaliers team, it will end up ugly real fast. Yeah. If he comes and keep his shape and try to frustrate this, keep the line, keep the defensive line. Don't allow Cavaliers famously known for. Then he will have a chance. I still think that a Cavalier will win the game, though. I genuinely think that. But the only way I see Maroon getting a point is the coach is not naive and think that he can come within a week, and it might. This win against Tivoli might give him a pause. It can give confidence, but it can also make him overconfident. The good win against Tivoli, however, it's going to be a different type of opponent when he plays this Cavalier outfit. So if he knowing that, listen, Cavalier is in the top 3 in the country, it's good to take a point from Cavalier. And if they present us with that fee, we're prepared to take it. He will have a chance. But if he comes and play this type of Brazilian football that Mr. Speed is talking about, just swaddle over real fast. By our time, this one will be wrapped up.
All right.
I think it was 3-0. Cavalier beat them the last time, with that naivety.
All right. Well, we have a call online, but Brian, give me your prediction and then we'll go to the caller and then we'll look at the next fixture. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah. Yeah. So, to be honest, I think I don't really know about the way in which Everton Maroon wants to play since they've had this new coach. But maybe I haven't seen them enough. But to be honest, I don't see any way in which they want to play that is different from what they used to do before. I just think that they probably would have gotten some better players. Also, I think the game against Tivoli, I don't think the result is a true reflection of how the game went.
Also,
I think Tivoli been more clinical and made some better decisions in the final third. They would have put away that game. But I must credit Chapeton though for finding a way to score goals. They scored 2 goals. Player who will not be available in this game. He also came off the bench in that game as well, in which he scored the 2 goals. So, I mean, I know they have gotten a whole new team and stuff, and it's kind of difficult to overall your entire team in a league where you're trying to get results to come up, especially given the deduction in points and stuff, and you want to progress. They are actually rooted at the bottom of the table as it is now, so they too need to get points. But I agree with Paul that if they come and try to play this Brazilian football, it's going to be over very, very quickly. Or even not the Brazilian, but the open style, I think it's going to be over very, very quickly. But either way, I think Cavalier is going to win by 2 goals to 0. Whether they play the open game or they play the close-up game.
All right. We have a call online. Caller, welcome to I Am Sure Sports.
Yeah, man. What go on, man? Capital Maroons don't know if for 1-0 or 2-1.
But Chapeton Maroons going to win?
Yeah, man. Right, we what them up here now.
Yeah, you think they can beat? You
Yeah,
think
man.
they can beat Cavaliers? Richard King returned to the starting lineup, having missed the last game, and they have Ronaldo Barrett coming back from U17 and Adrian Reed coming back from U17.
My name's man. Who you say going to return? Which defender?
Richard King.
Best defender play for VR in our Premier League.
Me never ask you who the
What
best. Me never ask you who the best defender play for. Me ask you, Richard King returning, Ronaldo Barrett, and also Adrian Reed coming back to Cavaliers. You don't think that make a difference?
So after that game that the defender played for Cavaliers the other night, we don't concede a goal. The coach go put back Richard King straight away in the start. No?
Yeah.
It's like you're advocate for
Okay. Why you
Maroon.
want me to answer that when the coach is right here? You have to
Ball
ask
up the rap to coach a man, see me. Afraid.
coach. You might have a question for you. After the marvelous game by your defense line, did you concede a goal? Richard King can come back into your starting line because I saw Mount Pleasant, two of you got red card, and he had to sit on the bench when he came back,
Well, Mount Pleasant is Mount Pleasant and Cavalier is Cavalier. One thing I tell Mount Pleasant. One thing I tell Mount Pleasant. When Paul gone, can't talk to Alice. Paul is here.
I'm here.
Oh, Paul is here?
Yes, I am here.
Right. I'm going to ease up Mount Pleasant next week. I'm not
No,
playing
no,
Richard.
no, 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 no,
I'm not playing Richard King, and I'm not playing Dwayne Atkinson. You see, I make it, I say it here.
No, man, listen, Mr. Speed, nobody come ease up anybody. Come with your A game, you tried it and you weren't successful the last time.
You come with system and send them up.
You full A game, no excuses, sir. Where we come from, we have no excuse. So why you giving excuse now?
I'm not giving an excuse, man.
No excuse.
That's out some other people.
We don't want any excuse, Mr. Speed.
But I just wanted to make another point. Man is man.
Yeah.
The game against Chapelton Maroon is my 300th game in charge of Cavalier in the top flight. 300 game. Just wanted to make that.
And what is your win percentage?
Well, the first 4 years was hard for us. So
Me never ask you about the four. Me ask you what are the three. No, we have to about the first four years.
Overall, we
Yeah.
win 112 games, draw 82, and lose 105. That's what now.
So your win percentage is under 50%.
The win, yes, but we have had positive results is almost to 60%.
So your win record is below 50%.
Yeah.
So Whitmore,
Man, you have to go send that stats to the board. Man, you have to go send the stats to the board,
I can't split the stats
so
in a two,
Whitmore has a better win percentage in the league than you.
Yeah, I can send the stats in two, though, The first time I was in Premier League,
No, we don't want to hear about first time. You just want to come declare that 300 games you have.
But
so
the board has a judgment.
300 games. All you have to do was give us the last year amount of games. You give us the whole.
The board is going to judge me on the last stint, not the first.
No, so we know that. We are judging overall. Balakar, anything else you want to say?
Yeah, man, I ball and I miss it on the time, so I want the more I go and see it.
Oh, Mr. Christie, I've just even got a text that Nicque Daley is not at Mount Pleasant. Is he still at Mount Pleasant? Not at Mount Pleasant? In between? On contract? Not on contract? Working on some things?
Well, so man, remember I tell you that before when the show just started, you never listen to me. You see all my news relevant on the ball, on the spot. I told you, but you never listen.
Yeah. Well, I didn't hear that he was not there, but I just got a text and Balakar asking.
One thing I can tell you, Mr. Nicque Daley was at training as recent as the day before yesterday.
Paul, come on, Paul. Don't insult our
All right, no, let me ask you this. All right, let me ask you this. Did Nicque Daley train?
Day before yesterday was the last time he was at training.
No, man, here's what I'm asking you. Did he
When was the last time the team trained, Paul? When was the last time the team trained?
Look here, let her go faster than training here. That's all we can tell you.
Let her move like lightning.
I don't know what that. I don't know what that has to do with.
Me neither. I don't. I have no idea. What
But I'm not getting anything. It look like Mr. Christian, Mr. Speed have some, and Brian know what go on, but they not tell me about a car. So I
But
don't.
listen to what Peter say, man, is, man.
Yeah.
He talk from morning, you know. You see, when that strike come in January, come January, we know Elgo broke loose out of Mount Pleasant, you know, and people they talk about camp good and everything, you know.
But no,
You
here,
cannot have three striker like
no,
for the local league, you know, in a one side.
Balakar. No hell, no broke loose. A weight can lose more. I'm more like weight. Lose.
If people can take off weight, the youth can take off weight too.
Then
Don't want nobody tell me nothing, man.
Balakar. Do you Balakar? Sometimes seeing that nobody can tell you. Me not tell you nothing. Do you see what Topi has been doing in comparison to what Nicque Daley has been doing, sir?
So they don't need to put back the youth to the program to man.
Balakar. Everything that Topi has available to him, Nicque Daley has available to him. So if
even get
then that if you ask him, how if you ask me and get fat?
If him get dropped with that means that Leonard ranking to get dropped then.
But you see Leonard, you see Balakar, here's the thing. You a talker, you have no information. You just a talk.
I mean, Mr. Leonard ranking.
When does you see Leonard ranking?
We don't see Leonard, we don't see Mother there.
Where? Balakar. Me dey match, me dey treat. You can't tell me nothing Balakar. You know, come on a Mount Pleasant match, a TV I look on.
So tell me say Leonard ranking lose weight.
Me not have to ask you that. Ask anybody where I watch the league. Anybody.
Well, the rankings start against some of you.
I don't know what Balakar talk about.
You see what Christian J. Daley make you look like in a middle.
But you're going from different. We are talking about. Let's talk about Nicque Daley because the first thing come out of your mouth that if Nicque Daley not in the team, ranking of the in the team.
No, but Frankie, no, I'm not. All right.
Top enough in the team. Oh, yeah.
No, man. Topi lose weight. No, man. Topi lose only for weight, man. We are talking about, man.
Okay.
Man. But when me they say, right, the youth they train before season start and everything, and all of a sudden, well, head broke loose now.
Balakar. Me know you drink me know you drink the white thing they mix with the explosive substance. So they call it boom bam. What do you call it? Me know you drink the special. So if a man...
I'm not drink special, man.
You don't drink special?
No, I'm not drink special.
All right, so let me give you an example. Some man drink the special. So you cannot be playing professional football, brother. And when you're done training, you're going to eat unhealthy. You're not going to lose weight. And if you stop blame team when ball are unfit, you have to get up, go do personal things for work on your own personal fitness. That the ball them for start don't stop talk about, but the team for this and team for that and coach for this. Go and work on your own personal fitness. Simple as that. Simple as that. Topi do it. Mr. Rankin lose so much weight that him all start now. Evan Taylor was at Mount Pleasant and look big. Evan Taylor, they are Chapelton Maroons, lose weight. The entire Humble Lion team a couple of seasons ago. People say, be an old man them. Look how them belly this and them belly that. Look at Humble Lion. And you think Andrew Price alone are training? The man them a work and them wanna get fit. Some of them, Rudolph Austin talk about the same thing. Some of them young youth here, through them here, so them a star, them no want to go run upon the Suns. Them no want to go run upon the Suns. Them no want to go run the hills.
The still big there.
The man lose a lot of weight, brother. Me not say him lose all the weight. The man lose.
Someone is bad.
Yeah.
All right.
Me I tell you, one man lose weight and one man put on weight.
All right. So we need to work on that. So they not come to the youth and give the youth like a mountain.
No, but Balakar, obviously you never listen to the.
Hey, Balakar, what them to come to him now in the eye and no mirror for him yard? What them to come to him and say?
No, but you not listen to what people say. They can say it to him.
Balakar, let me tell you again. Balakar, the man was given, he was given a separate program, right? Unseen, then Nicque Daley in there a Mount Pleasant. Talk that nonsense. The man was given a separate program where he's supposed to work with a person named Ricky Miller, who is a physical
Yeah,
trainer.
man, we know Mr. Miller,
All
man. Mr.
all
Miller
right.
from Downtown.
So they were working with him separate from the team because he needed to get him can't pass what them I go through. Wally Downs and Miller were working with him. And him can't go through it. So how you gonna blame them?
So Mr. Me never know say Mr. Miller a part of Mount Pleasant still.
Yeah, man. Him dealing with physical conditioning on them individual levels there. Anyway,
So
Balakar, we want to run. We have the coach that come up later, you know, and we need to end this. We need to end the
which
show.
coach?
Eh?
Which coach?
Coach H, man.
Alright, me don't forward back then. You when me just say now, before me left. I just said the one thing. From that one striker come, me didn't know so this to happen to the youth. Have a good day, man.
Fresh got to we send him down a humble lion.
Akar, you want to see that coach Akar, you need to see that coach come up the HH. So just hurry up for 2 months.
Yeah, because we have a game to talk about, you know. People jump to the unseen. Stop talking madness, man. Unseen, you're the first person to get the link. But you want to talk about Mount Pleasant, you ask the link same way. The last game of the round, right? Tivoli Gardens versus Mount Pleasant. And Mr. Christina want to give no prediction, say make sure it's ain't gone.
I am here, sir. I am here.
Okay.
No, I know that him never want to answer a question about the letter. But anyway.
What question about letter?
Me no know no question. Me no ask. But tell you there's something between you and Mr. There's something between you and Mr. Speeder. I don't know what it is. You know? Yeah, Fresh guy, we're not going to get to the link up.
More information than I do.
We're not going to get to the link up. We have to do a separate show for that because we have around 3 minutes to close out this one.
Right. So you say Mount Pleasant versus Tivoli Garden. So they met 11 times, right? Mount Pleasant won 7, 2 are drawn, and Tivoli only won 2. So Mount Pleasant owned Tivoli Garden basically. The problem though, Mount Pleasant scored 20 goals against Tivoli yet. So Tivoli has found it very hard to do anything against Mount Pleasant. And when you look at all the teams that in the regular people that play in the Premier League, Mount Pleasant record against Tivoli is the best. They have earned 2.09 points per game. Dunbowling, they have done best against Dunbowling, and then Tivoli is the second team that Mount Pleasant just dominate all the time.
Okay, so your prediction for this game?
Right. So going down to Tivoli though is probably a different kettle of fish because no use the fish word. But going down to Tivoli is really gonna be difficult for Mount Pleasant based on how Mount Pleasant play. But if the Tivoli Garden turn up against Chapelton Maroon turn up again, I expect Mount Pleasant to win the game easily. But I have Tivoli is one of those teams that don't play 2 bad games. They're gonna give you a better performance this time, and I'm sure the coach will be really upset about what happened the other night against Chapelton Maroon. I'm going for a draw for this one because Mount Pleasant has been impotent for the last 2 games, and I expect that to continue.
All right, Brian. Quick prediction.
Mount Pleasant 2, Tivoli 1.
Mr. Christie, quick prediction.
Mount Pleasant 2, Tivoli 0.
All right. Hey, people, I want to tell you this. You notice Mr. Speed said something very important. He might give a hint. Mr. Speed just told you all that by the time Mount Pleasant plays Cavaliers, Richard King and Busy Atkinson will be out of Jamaica. We never hear. I hint, you know. We don't pick up things, you know, and not talk about we are going to ease up. No. Come on now. We really make up make money's man telling you that the man try hint you know that by the time he will play Mount Pleasant, he will lose 2 at the ball of them, you know. Them gone people.
Just not gonna play them.
People. him no want telling you because he can't tell you yet because it's no concrete. But at that him really are telling you. By the time it get to that, man wise, them look how semantic things there can't slip past man like that, You understand me, fresh God? We have to grab them. Overseas contract coming up, but we have to with the ball of them, So in a couple of weeks, so some leagues start X place and Y places, so they could be moving to
No, man,
those.
they'll be back for the Dundee Bowling game, man.
They'll be back. You know,
For the
hear
Dundee
people?
Bowling game.
They'll be back for the Dumby Holden game. And you understand me? So them leaving, I don't know. That is if when them go, the contract not signed because they could go and contract sign off and not be back. You understand me? So you know where it go. But Mount Pleasant, they're not going to be here. Ticket buy already.
But it don't make a difference. It don't make a difference. They played the last time Mount Pleasant played and Mount Pleasant beat them. So I don't want to start manufacturing excuse.
No, me not have mercy. Me not say manufacturing excuse me that. What is it? What's that?
Anyway, Mount Pleasant, these games not important. Ask Waterhouse. Then win all of these games for 5-6 years. These games are important. We play a league, then a knockout. And the knockout important.
Yeah.
You know that don't be walling. You remember how good you were doing? How about you just get into the 6th position by goal difference? I remember walking at the final. Just remember that. None of these games important. We have a league, then a knockout. Knockout important.
All right. So people, listen. We're going to have to run, but the links knockout start even next week. We didn't even get to go through that as well. Which is a knockout competition. Mr. Speedy, I want to just take a couple of minutes and just run over that so people can understand it, please. Brian will have to leave us shortly as well because he wants to come back when we have on the big coach. But you are aware of the knockout competition starting, which will include the tier 2 teams as well.
Right.
Mr.
So
Speedy.
all 14 Premier League and 10 tier 2 teams should take part. It's divided up in a particular way. 8 teams get by to the second round, and then so you'll have a contest between 16 teams, I think. So the winners will join the 8 that get by from last Premier League in the second round, and they will be playing, and then you go to a quarterfinal, a top 8, then a top 4, then a top 2. Lots of prize money in store, probably over $4 million for the winner, or something like that. I can't remember what the figure is, but it's a good amount of money in store for the winner. The lesser teams, that is the tier 2 teams, they will host the first round games, and the lesser teams will, the least ranked team will also host the second round game. So that is how it is set up. But after the quarterfinal stage, that will come to.
Yeah.
So Steve, are you sure?
No, because
I'm
the
looking
first
at this
game
graphic.
is on Wednesday, And I say True Juice playing Falmouth, and the home team is True Juice. Then Humble Lion will be at home to Wadada. Limeall of St. and will host Portmore United and Mullines. I don't know where that game is going to be played, but they're going to be hosting Hopewell FC.
Oh, I thought that wasn't what I heard initially. It was supposed to be the lower ranked teams because we wanted the football to be in all the communities. If that happened, it's probably because the team doesn't have a proper venue to host a match of that magnitude, why they have to put it to the other team.
Okay. So they probably just use the teams that have good venues.
Yeah, the better venue. No, they would have spoken to each person first, I'm sure.
Yeah, and then on the Thursday, we'll see Baptist Alliance versus Mobile United, Veer versus Downs, Albion Mountain FC versus Tivoli Gardens, Treasure Beach versus Portlanders. So that is, and then you have round 2, right, where the Harbour View and the Chapperton Arnett Gardens will come in. Match Arnett Gardens will play the winner of the Limeall Portmore game. Harbour View will play the winner of the True Juice Falmouth game. Chapelton will play the winner of the Humble Lion Wadada game. So it got right. Falkland will play the winner of match 7, that is Albion and Tivoli. Waterhouse will play the winner of game 4, and game 4 is the game between Mullines and Hopewell. Right? Yeah. Cavaliers will play the winner of game 5. So Cavalier will end up playing either Baptist Alliance or Mobile United.
Just to say that Cavalier and Mount Pleasant is going to clash in the quarterfinals if everything goes.
Or that if you know we win in the first round games,
yeah,
Mount Pleasant will play the winner of the 6, which is Veer versus Downs. And Dumby Holden will play the winner of, I think I did that, of match 8. And match 8 is Treasure Beach versus Portlanders. So lots of money out there. This is the seeding, people. See, that is how the teams are seeded. So good thing, good to see the knockout return again to local football, right? Yeah. So yeah, man. Will it be showed on TV? People asking that.
I don't know. Some of it, not all.
Yeah, I don't.
Definitely the playoffs. When you reach the last year, that will be shown.
Okay, I don't know. I'm sure, Sport. This is a JPL knockout competition. Yeah, it is. Do you call it the JPL knockout competition? I don't. That's not the name. It is called, Travis. But it's called a Links Cup. Lots of money on offer. I mean, some big sponsors have come on board to support this. So, yeah, that is what is happening, people. Yeah, man. All right. Mr. Speed, I hear Nazir saying that you should be a regular fixture along with Mr. Christie. They are, you know. They're normally here. You understand me? So people, make sure, you know, you subscribe and you have your notification bell on, because in around an hour and a half, we will be having the coach and the program. Want to big up Mr. Speed. Want to big up Mr. Christie. Brian was here. Really, really, really good show. Love talk about the local content. Somebody was talking about the salary structure. One of the things we want to discuss, I just want to preempt both of you guys, is just the whole idea of players moving from Jamaica going overseas. Like, is it better to keep the players if no good offer come up, or to just let the players go overseas and hopefully down the road the clubs can benefit? That's one of the discussions I want to have.
Timing is everything, you know. Timing is everything. You must be able to decide at what point in a player career is best for him to go, or is best for him to stay. Because, for instance, a lot of players who we keep on sending overseas, they are just not ready for the overseas market yet. If you and a player always in an argument, but when he come to training, if he put out all the effort, if him come dressed properly, if him seeing videos up, say him a party. If you and a players in that argument locally, when he go overseas, he can't make it. Him can make your local standard, much less an overseas standard. So some of the time people come and say, send this player overseas, send the player, spend 500,000, buy a ticket for him. You know, say you're wasting your money, because they're going to send him back, because the player is not exemplary here. So you just can't make it overseas, none at all. Just think about it. It will take like 1 out of 1,000 person who will be a bad year if you go overseas and make it. And that is some of the issues that we have. So it's timing, and you have to judge every player on individual merit before you decide what is it to do. So it can be a general rule.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to end the show because, like I say, I have a next interview coming up shortly. So just stay tuned, right? And people, it is Super Friday. And you know that not one of you send a super chat or a super sticker to show appreciation for the content. We don't even have 50 likes on this video. Maybe I should put off this whole thing. You understand me? I don't know. But not even like, you can't like the video. Maybe I should just put it off. I think I probably should do that and save it until next week, Monday or so. But Mr. Speed, somebody is asking from the diaspora if there is any effort to try and get the practice games televised for people in the diaspora, maybe on the JFF.
Which practice games?
Against Trinidad.
No, they are full-fledged international games that carry points. I don't understand it.
No, they're asking if it will be televised.
Yeah, but they're not practice games.
Right, yeah, man. International games, if they will be
Yeah.
televised.
Yeah, will be televised, yes. I'm not sure
Okay,
who yet, but it will be televised.
okay, okay. All right. Yeah, man. So people, there you go. So bless up yourself. Mr. Speed, thanks again. Very good show. Mr. Christie, all the best down at Tivoli, you know.
Mr. Christie gonna write a letter.
Hey, Mr. Christie, remember the last show I was on, I was telling you about securing the people's vehicle at the venue when you have massive crowd.
Yes, sir.
All right, you heard what happened on Sunday, though.
No, I didn't get a
Yeah,
report.
yeah, man. Then a big old announce, persons with license plate 664 for blah blah blah.
It was actually
Please,
blocking. It was an irresponsible statement. It was actually blocking, and I think because he wanted the gentleman to run to his vehicle, he was actually. I investigated that one. He was actually blocking someone.
so I'm on tell a man say somebody breaking their vehicle for him go move it.
Yeah, but we had police on the scene. So if there was someone breaking in his vehicle, believe me.
Jesus,
But
they were so
it was applied to get him to go to the vehicle. But that was an irresponsible statement, and I
they
spoke
were
to the
so
gentleman about after.
them are son money are not easy. All right, boss. I hear you. I hear you. But
Yes,
people,
sir.
yeah, man, bless up yourself. Listen, join us back in an hour and a half. You understand me? It will be a good one. I am management. This has been I Am Sure Sports on behalf of myself, Brian Maiten, Mr. Rudolph Speed, and Mr. Paul Christie. We want to say a big thank you for watching this one. Remember, hit the like button before you go. And please, you see when the next video start, in the first 10 minutes, we need 10 super sticker, 10 super chat. Our go so bam, and just set the date different. You understand me? I am management. This has been I Am Sure Sports. And you know, when it gets to this point, we say we are over and we are OUT out of here.